Welcome to the Leadership in Law podcast with host Marilyn Jenkins. Cut through the noise, get actionable insights and inspiring stories delivered straight to your ears. Your ultimate podcast for navigating the ever-changing world of law firm ownership. In each episode, we dive deep into the critical topics that matter most to you, from unlocking explosive growth to building a thriving team. We connect you with successful firm leaders and industry experts who share their proven strategies and hard-won wisdom. So, whether you're a seasoned leader or just starting your journey as a law firm owner, the Leadership in Law podcast is here to equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to build a successful and fulfilling legal practice.
Welcome to another episode of the Leadership in Law podcast. I'm your host, Marilyn Jenkins. Join me in welcoming my guest, Jessica White, to the show today. Jessica received her Juris Doctorate from Villanova University School of Law in 2012. She comes from a family of Scotch, Irish, and Colombian immigrants. She began working as an immigration lawyer in Houston in 2013, where she represented individuals in immigration court. She worked as an associate for Monty and Ramirez, LLP, a minority-owned immigration and employment law firm in Houston. She later served as an associate attorney at Fragelin, Del Rey, Burson, and Lowy, LLP, a global immigration law firm where she assisted corporate clients with a range of business immigration matters. In 2019, she launched her own immigration practice where she represents both businesses and individuals. In her spare time, she enjoys quilting, going on picnics with her young son, and attending theater performances. I'm excited to have you here, Jessica. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Marilyn. It's great to be here.
Awesome. You've been working quite a bit in immigration in different levels and different areas.
Yeah, sometimes it seems like just yesterday when I started, but then I start to add up all the years and I age myself. So it's been a good ride.
Nice. Very nice. I love the experience. So tell us a little bit about how you get clients for your firm. And I know we're talking about social media and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, a lot of what our practice involves is reputation based. Like you hear about reputation management. Certainly people are kind of afraid of the internet because there are downsides. Like I know there's colleagues who get that one bad Google review and they think it's going to tank them. But then there's also success stories and using it to your advantage. So what I wanted to say about reputation is actually a lot of my business comes from referrals from other attorneys. So
really?
in order to keep that up, I have to make sure that I'm attending, events with other attorneys, keeping track of the latest immigration updates, and kind of offering a service to the broader scope, not just clients, but also letting other attorneys know what kind of work I do. Because as immigration attorneys, we're all a bit overloaded these days. So you have people who, they have a lot of business and they want a niche area to represent. So they're getting kinds of cases that maybe they don't want to handle or it's just too much of a headache. So then they'll send them my way. And I'm more than happy to take them on. So I know last time we had talked about using LinkedIn as a platform. Mm-hmm. That's been good for me because I have the premium function where I could connect with people. And in business immigration, at least, a lot of our clients are actually companies with human resources departments, or maybe they're small business owners. And they're interested in bringing people from abroad that maybe work at a foreign company that's related, or they might know someone who's a good job candidate that's here on a student visa. So it's a good way of posting kind of what I do and like giving them updates and letting them know what's going on in the immigration world. So they'll connect with that and read a post and then maybe message me and say, oh, hey, I really had a question about this. Could we schedule a call?
Nice. Okay. So you're using LinkedIn for the B2B thing. And okay, that's fantastic. And I love that. Are you using other social media for like the B2C part?
So I do a little of that as well, but truth be told, I haven't fully implemented a lot of the plans that I have. So I have an Instagram account for the business. I also use MailChimp. So
Okay.
Whenever someone goes onto my website and they sign up for more information, they can connect and check a box to get onto our newsletter. So that means that I have imported contacts directly from my website into the MailChimp account. And that way I can figure out if there are some potential customers or clients that want more information. And we always have tiers of people who need immigration help. So there's people who are ready to hire. There's people who perhaps they want more information about a particular area of law because they're thinking about something, but they're not yet in the mindset to hire an attorney.
Right.
And then there are your casual shoppers that we try to discourage. I love a good DIY. Like you saw in my bio that I like to quilt. I also do a little bit of woodworking. I'm all for DIY. I love it so much. Like I'm up late at night watching those videos about how someone made a concrete bench or something. But with immigration, I had to discourage people from doing things on their own a lot because I just find that there's undesirable outcomes. And it sometimes seems like a really simple, like the thing about immigration is it seems very simple when someone goes on the USCIS website, that's U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. They kind of make it seem like you could just fill out the forms and yourself and then send in the filing fee. But then if you make a misrepresentation, sometimes that could prevent someone from getting an immigration benefit. They could be barred for life.
Oh, no.
Or, maybe they put in some information that wasn't entirely correct and then they just have their application rejected.
Could be an innocent mistake, but just a mistake nevertheless. Yeah.
So there's things that definitely people could probably do on their own, but then there's always that worst case scenario. So what I was going back to with the MailChimp is like you have a variety of prospective clients that you want to target. And so I actually have it filtered so that I have one list that is only for business immigration clients and then another list for the family-based cases. Because I actually deal with two very different populations of clients. There's some that mostly are marriage-based cases, like a U.S. citizen wants to marry someone from abroad and they want to figure out how to get them here either on a fiance visa or they want to do a consular process for them. And they have to iron out all the details. I'm actually a product of one of those family-based marriages, so I know a lot about it. My dad is a U.S. citizen, and my mom was from Bogota, Colombia, and they came here in the late 70s. So immigration is very near and dear to me.
Nice. So that is interesting. That is two completely different messaging systems, and I love that you're using MailChimp because so many attorneys that I talk to don't have whether it's called database reactivation, your monthly email newsletter, any of that kind of thing. They're not doing a lot of that to provide value and hopefully, nurture the leads into becoming a client or, moving forward in the process. But the way you're filtering them, you're also taking into consideration the buyer's pyramid. So the people that are ready to move forward and those who just need nurturing. So very good.
We definitely get the calls from window shoppers who want everything for free. And unfortunately, I just can't do it because I have bills to pay just like everyone else.
Yeah. And the people wanting the free advice. No. Gotta, move forward.
We kind of say in immigration law, like, would you want your doctor to do some kind of surgery on you and just like not really give you a full consultation or read your vitals? Like sometimes we have to make sure we do our due diligence and get a full intake and understand what the client's issues are so that we don't make a mistake that hurts them in the long run.
Good point. Very good point. So then you're using LinkedIn for your B2B. What are you doing anything? We talked a little bit about TikTok back in October. Are you doing anything there at all? And if so, what kind of pros and cons are you looking at there?
So Marilyn, I have a confession. I haven't yet dived into the TikTok world, but I know last time we spoke and we talked about some concerns because a lot of my colleagues kind of look down upon the colleagues that are using TikTok because it's a great tool. I'm not going to say it's not because you can reach a wide audience. And I think like as a millennial, the generations after me are completely absorbed in TikTok and it's a way to get across a punchy message We just have to be cautious that the people who are reaching out because of TikTok don't have unrealistic expectations of the attorneys.
Mhm.
Like sometimes some attorney will post a message like, if you're a victim of a crime, you'll definitely be able to qualify for a U visa or something. Not mentioning that this process could take over 5 years and that they have to have cooperated with police and be able to get a certification from government officials that some qualifying crime happened to them and that they cooperated. So it's like a lot of flash. There's, a very attractive quality to it because people say, oh my goodness, this attorney I saw on TikTok is going to solve all my problems and legalize my status. But maybe their case is a little more complicated. So I'm hesitant to use it, but I think I'm going to strategize a little bit more about what kind of messages you could get across in TikTok that aren't going to be unethical or, promoting something that can't be done in some kind of flashy way, but just to provide a message about how we might, further, triage some area that's important to a client. But I think YouTube is a good platform, for instance, because you have a little bit of a longer video and then people are more informed when they come to the consultations. And so they ask better questions. I know I often look at YouTube lectures for different fields that I don't quite understand. And immigration can be complex. So I've seen, I work with an attorney now as a consultant as well. So I'm doing contract work for her. And she uses a lot of YouTube to deliver complicated messages and explained detailed areas of law, which is great because then if we have a client who comes in and wants an investor visa or something, we can just forward the video of her talking about investor visas.
Nice.
And then you have this way of communicating detailed information without having to use valuable time in the office where we could be managing clients or, reviewing forms and getting the applications out the door.
And you can use that as those videos as video blog content on your website as well. Now, about TikTok, what's interesting is we've done some research and some traction on there and found that a lot of the time services don't, if you're selling something, like the TikTok shops, then that makes sense. But as far as TikTok for a service-based business, what we've noticed in our experience is it's really great for branding and for educating your audience. So I agree with you. You've got to be careful. You can't say we're going to solve your problem in 30 days and you're happy-go-lucky because that's just not going to happen. But as far as branding or education, that is not a bad idea to do that and just stay within, of course, the bar regulations of your state. Do you do anything on Facebook? I know you said you have an Instagram account. What type of content are you putting there? And are you also doing it on your Facebook account?
What's your plan to grow your law firm's sales and profits in 2025? My name is Marilyn Jenkins, and I want to take a quick moment to share something I'm super excited about. It's called the Law Firm Growth Guild. It's your shortcut to mastering marketing and getting more clients. It's sponsored by Law Marketing Zone. If you're a lawyer or a law firm owner who's been feeling overwhelmed, juggling clients, leading your team, and trying to scale without losing your sanity, I get it. It's a lot. That's exactly why I created this online membership community. I've been working with law firms since 2018, and I've worked with and helped hundreds of firms across the U.S. and Canada to grow and scale their firms beyond where they had ever been before. The Law Firm Growth Guild is designed to help you understand marketing strategies and grow your firm smarter and to scale your firm predictably. And here's the best part. It's only a fraction of the price of a cup of coffee daily. My team and I are adding new content weekly, and you can be intentional about your growth and development each week. All of our webinars and workshops are in the community, and a first good workshop is all about setting your vision for your strategy for 2025. We've got workbooks, spreadsheets, and everything to walk you through setting up your marketing plan for 2025. Getting crystal clear on where you're going and how to get there. Imagine walking into this new year with confidence, with a plan, and with the tools to make 2025 into your best year yet. Don't get left behind. Join the community now and jumpstart your growth for 2025 and beyond. Click the link in the show notes or visit checkout.lawmarketingzone.com to find out more and to join the community. Let's grow your firm together. I can't wait to see you on the inside of the Law Firm Growth Guild.
Yes, so I do have a Facebook account as well, and I post government announcements there, kind of explain a little bit about new things that are going on in immigration law. And it's nice on Facebook because you, just like Instagram, you have followers. So you have your kind of like confined audience of people who are looking at the new messages you're sending out. And I also find that there's quite a few groups on Facebook where people are asking for attorney referrals. So I try to get on there and offer up my services to people who are looking. This has had mixed success because, like I tell you, there's always the DIY people who say, oh, this attorney, you don't really need her help. She's just trying to overcharge you. But it's so funny.
We get that in the agency space as well. I can do my own ads. No, yeah.
Well, you can. It's just a question of quality and, like the time and effort you put into doing things yourself versus getting the professional expertise. Because things that would take someone hours and hours to do, I could probably do in a couple hours because of the expertise. Like people always complain, what do they say? Like their roofer came in to fix something and all he did was like make a small adjustment, or a plumber does the same thing. And they say, how come you charge me $500 to make that small adjustment? And they say, well, it's because of my professional expertise,
In 20 years, I've learned how to do this in 10 minutes. Exactly.
Exactly. So that's kind of where we get off too. So I think putting the name out there and getting good referrals from colleagues honestly has been great for reputation building. And in the new year, I also want to get on some additional websites, paid advertising and things like that so it can boost my reputation. But as far as I'm concerned right now, I have enough work to go around. So I'm also cautious of building out before I can scale up the service as well.
Excellent. Now, thinking of Facebook groups and stuff like that, you're in Tucson?
Yes.
Okay. So is there, like, there's a lot of cities will have a geographical community, whether it's not maybe the city is large, but a group that is business owners in the group introducing each other. Is there something like that, or have you looked into that for Tucson?
Business owners. I haven't done that with Tucson's Facebook groups. I'm part of a lot of them. There's one called, I think it's Mujeres Latinas de Arizona. It's like Latin women in Arizona. Yeah. And it's great. It's all Spanish speaking women like looking for mutual aid and help. So there's everything on there from people looking for housing and jobs to people looking for attorneys for wills and immigration help and all sorts of things.
Nice.
I do that. And then recently I went to this Arizona Tech Council symposium. And so I was there giving information to potential clients that are in the tech space. And I'm always trying to think of new ideas about how to meet the people that I want to reach. So they had people from like universities there and different tech companies. And so I was able to interact with them. But there's like a lot of, there's a lot of chambers of commerce in the area that I'm also reaching out to. So it's good to be a part of the business community too, because like, for instance, you get different connections like with your realtor and your banker, and sometimes those can be referral sources as well. Like, yes, sometimes you have to be a little creative because if I'm just talking to other lawyers, I get into a little echo chamber and maybe I'm not reaching the right people. So yeah, you definitely have to be a bit of a social butterfly to keep up.
Yeah. And if you're members of all these chambers, you want to make sure that you get a link to your website from the chamber's website. That's going to give you a lot more local visibility as well.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah. Oh, very good. I love that. And then I was in California. We had a women's network group in the Central Coast that all sorts of women. There were, I think, 350 or 400 women in the San Luis Obispo area. That particular Central Coast was very good for getting to know more people, and the network just incredible. But excellent. So
awesome.
Yeah, I love that. But checking it, finding local groups, what brought that to mind is a few years ago during COVID, a friend of mine in North Carolina, she's in real estate and covers 3 specific cities. And it's called the Triad, is that region. And she started a Facebook group to support and connect to the Triad. And so it's just business owners referring other business owners, whether it's a new restaurant, a coffee shop, whatever. And it blew up during COVID, and it's still incredibly active today. And it's just, you just get to know. And someone just goes in and say, hey, I'm looking to go somewhere for this weekend to have a nice getaway. What would you recommend? Boom, boom, boom. And here's like 3 or 4 people referring other business owners in there. So I think you're right about getting out there and being a little guerrilla marketing to find places to get more business.
Yeah, I think the power of the internet is awesome because we have so much connectivity that we can reach people with anything that we need. Like, I definitely have friends from diverse backgrounds. Like, one of my good friends runs a tech business, and my other good friend is a realtor. So it's nice to have that network and be able to help your fellow small business owners. Sometimes we can also kind of cross-pollinate ideas, and they give me ideas about what they're doing to advertise that I might not have thought of as an attorney, because attorneys are very slow to adopt new technologies and things. I think you'll find we're very cautious usually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. But I love that learning from other people that's not necessarily in your industry. Because, when it comes to a service-based business, marketing is marketing. You still need to get your name out there. And caution, yes, I get that. But you just kind of got to go with it sometimes to grow.
Marilyn, I'm still considering a wrap on my car, but I haven't done that yet. I'm going to think about that one. I always think every year when I do my taxes, whether the vehicle should be a business write-off, and I can just imagine, my logo plastered on the vehicle. It'll be a great tax write-off. I haven't jumped the gun yet. So
Start small. Do magnetic signs. Start small.
There's always more that can be done.
That is true. There's always more that can be done, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I love that. I think this has been excellent. I think, what do you think one of the biggest takeaways you hope our listeners get from this?
Be creative. Don't limit yourself, and think about your target audience. Who do you really want to reach out to? Because I think sometimes we get into an idea that we have to pay more and more to different online service companies that are going to post an ad, but it's like the lawyer websites sometimes will pay us, or we'll have to pay them to advertise at the top of their page. And it becomes a competition of constantly, giving them more money. But if you get creative, your marketing plan might not have to cost that much, but it's actually more effective because you're getting the clients that you need. Like me reaching out to other business owners directly on LinkedIn has been very effective, and I don't pay a lot of overhead to do that.
Right. Nice. And you can automate your posting on LinkedIn and outreach to LinkedIn as well. So I agree. Get creative. Marketing doesn't have to cost a lot, but you also want to balance that with time. Yeah, it's it's the 20 catch 22 thing. You do all this networking to get cases, then you spend all your time on cases and you slow down on your networking. So, but yeah, get creative and the referrals will come. Well, Jessica, this has been excellent. I really appreciate your time. I know my listeners may want to reach out and connect with you and talk about what you're doing. Where's the best place that they can reach you?
They can reach me on my website, jessicawhitelaw.com, or they can reach out to Jessica at jessicawhitelaw.com and send me a question or just say hello and let me know what they're doing in their businesses.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. This has been enlightening. I am excited to see where you go with your TikTok and your LinkedIn in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Marilyn. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for joining me today for this episode. As we wrap up, I'd love for you to do 2 things. First, subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you find value here, I'd love it if you would rate it and review it. That really does make a difference in helping other people to discover this podcast. Second, you can connect with me on LinkedIn to keep up with what I'm currently learning and thinking about. And if you're ready to take the next step with a digital strategist to help you grow your law firm, I'd be honored to help you. Just go to lawmarketingzone.com to book a call with me. Stay tuned for our next episode next week. Until then, as always, thanks for listening to Leadership in Law Podcast, and be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss the next episode.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Leadership in Law Podcast. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of law firm owners out there facing similar challenges and striving for the same success. Head over to our website at lawmarketingzone.com. From there, connect with other listeners, access valuable resources, and stay up to date on the latest episodes. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, keep leading with vision and keep growing your firm.